Alright, kita tengok ini. Okay. Semua ada buka, ada download paper ni. August 2021. Right, download from library lah. Right. So, kita tengok question. Dalam soalan ni, dalam paper ni, we have basically 7 question lah. So, you do expect this semester pun 7 question jugalah. Alright. So, question number 1. Boleh dengar kan? I main suara. Right. So, question number 1. A random sample of employee was selected from 3 different types of store at the mall, and their age were recorded. Assume that assumption of parametric tests are met. So assumption of parametric tests means that the normality assumption, right? So that one is the main assumption of parametric lah. And so the data are normally distributed lah. Right, so the data were analyzed and results are shown below. So we have 3 department, department store, music and sport. Right, so dia kata dekat sini calculate sum of square between groups. So how to calculate sum of square between groups? Oops. Macam mana calculate sum of square between group? Remember chapter one-way ANOVA, right? Dalam hypothesis testing, kan? So to calculate sum of square between group, kita tengok balik formula, right? Kat sini, yeah. Okay, so this one, nampak kan? Sorry. So between treatment adalah between group lah. This is what we call as between group lah, right? Between group or between treatment. Error means sum of square within treatment ataupun error lah. So the formula will be summation of yi square minus y dot square divided by capital N, right? So now kita tengok, kita copy this formula first, right? Let's see. Let's say kita ambil tengok 1 over n summation of yi squared minus y dot squared divided by capital N, right? So I just copy this one first. Oops. Right. So, kalau kita tengok dekat sini, the first one, department store kan. So, in department store, they give us X bar and N kan. So kalau kita tengok dekat sini, dia ada summation of xi kan, dekat sini. So now what we can do is basically this one is bit hard. Okay, macam mana nak buat ni? We need to get the we need to use another formula. I think you cannot use this formula. Ada formula satu lagi tak? Let's look at this one. Wait think another formula untuk sama square treatment kan, dia juga sama dengan kalau you expand, then you akan dapat n summation of x bar I, right, minus with the x bar total, right, x bar total, right, x bar total lah, and then baru kita square. X bar total ni maksudnya y dot dot ni divide by capital N lah. Maksudnya we take all observation divide by all observation divide by number of observation lah, right. So maybe kita akan pakai formula macam ni sekejap. So this one also equal to summation of, right, this is n. Sebab kita bawa bila you manipulate nanti you akan dapat macam ni lah. But I think masa kelas tu I tak explain this formula, right. So x bar I minus x bar total, right, square. So now dekat sini kita tengok x bar 1 is 47.2, right. X bar 1 is 47.2, right. So n is equal to 6, right. So dalam x bar, right, remember x bar is equal to summation of x over n. Right, this is the formula for x bar, right. So kita nak dapatkan sama square ni, right. So now to get the summation of x is equal to n multiplied with x bar. Okay, so now it should be summation of x for number 1 department store, it should be 6 multiplied with 47.2, right, 47.2. Okay, and then this one should be equal to berapa ni? Can you calculate for me? Okay, mana ada jawapan? 283.2. Alright, 283.2. 183.2. So this is the first one lah. So can you calculate for the music and sport as well? So summation of x2 should be 6 multiplied with 26.8, and summation of x3 should be 29.8 multiplied with 6 as well. So berapa? So the sport is 178.8 and music is 160.8, right? Okay, good. So now boleh kira. So we add all the total kan, 283.2 plus 160.8 plus 178.8. So kita akan dapat, ada yang dah calculate
622.8.
622.8 lah, right? So now nampak tak hujung formula ni, dia kata the mean of the total kan, maksudnya kita akan cari mean lah, mean of total. So this one should be 622.8 divide by, berapa total kita ada? 6 plus 6 plus 6, 18. Right, so this one should be equal to 34.6 kot, I think. 622.8 divided by 18. Right, 34.6. Right? Okay? Right? Boleh eh? So that is one step lah. Right? So next, we need to continue by using this formula, right? To find sum of square between treatment, right? So this one should be you nampak ada n kan, so 6, the first one lah, we are focusing for the first one, which is the department store kan, right? Apa ni, department store, right? So the mean for department store is 47.2, right? 47.2. So 47.2 minus the mean total, which is 34.6. So this is the first one. The second one is 6. For music, is the mean for music is 26.8. 26.8 minus 34.6 plus, right? And last one is 6 multiply with 29.8 minus 34.6. So this one, berapa you all dapat? Oh, but don't forget, dekat sini kita ada square kan? So you need to square one by one. So that's why, kalau nampak sini dia kata negatif, so dia tak akan jadi negatif lah, semua akan jadi positif. Because in ANOVA table, there will no negative value, only positive value. Boleh? Can you calculate? So, berapa you dapat? One four 55, right? 1455. So, yeah, correct. So 1455.54, is it? 1455.54. Bukan 84. 54, right? Right, good. 184, okay, good. So supposed to be 1455.84. So this is the answer for sum of square between group, right? Between group or between treatment lah. So it should be equal to 1455.84. So the calculation is going should be that one lah, right? Okay, boleh? Alright, so number B, given between group variance, alright, between group variance is 727.925, and the total sum of square is 2823. So they want us to compute the test statistic for the above data. So variance means that the mean square lah, mean square for between group, right, should be equal to 727, and the total sum of square is 2823. So this one they are forcing us to construct ANOVA table lah. So walaupun dia secara halusnya dia tak suruh pun construct ANOVA table, tapi dia memaksa kita untuk construct ANOVA table. So now kita tengok standard structure of one way ANOVA table, right? So this is structure of ANOVA table. So we're going to have the variance, right, which is between group, right? This is error, right? Error, and the last one is total, right? And then we have sum of square, right? And then we have a degree of freedom, right? And then we have mean square error, mean square error. Sorry, mean square, just mean square. And the last one is F value lah, right? So tadi kita dah calculate the value of sum of square between group 1455 255.84, right? So now the degree of freedom for between group is k minus 1. So we have 3 group here. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2, right? And then they give us the value 727.925, right? So to confirm our result in A is correct or not, we just 727.925 multiply with 2. So supposedly kita akan dapat benda yang sama lah, 1455.85 basically. 8485 as okay. So next is dia bagi kat kita total sum of square total is 2823. So to get the error, so we just minus lah. So this one should be 1367.16, right? So the sum of square the degree of freedom for error is capital N minus K. Capital N is 18. 18 minus 3 is equal to 15. And this one 18 minus 1 is equal to 17. Sum of square error, so 1367.16 divided by 15. So this one should be equal to 91.144 lah, right? So to get the F value, dekat sini soalan dia kata compute the value of test statistic. So should be that this way lah, very simple. 727.925 divided by 91.144. So this one should be equal to 7.9865 lah. So this one is 7.9865. Okay? Boleh So 3 marks. Okay. So now dekat sini dia kata at 0.05 level significant level, right? At 0.05 significant level, test the claim that there is a difference in mean age for 3 type of store in the mall lah. So we need to create a hypothesis testing lah. So I bawa ke sini lah, using this one. Right, so we need to create a hypothesis testing. So this is a 4 marks actually. So first is null hypothesis, mu1 equal to mu2 equal to mu3. Actually mu1 is a department store, mu2 is a music, and mu3 is apa tu, sport, right? Sport department lah. So alternative hypothesis, at least one mu I is different lah. Right? So alpha is equal to 0.05. Test statistic, F value is equal to 7.9865, right? So now we know the F value is 7.9865. So this is a F calculated. So let me clearkan F calculated. So because we are calculating the F value from the ANOVA table. And then we have a critical region. Critical region it should be before the critical region, we need to calculate the critical value, which is F alpha, degree of freedom 1 and degree of freedom 2. So F 0.05, degree of freedom number 1 is 2, degree of freedom number 2 is 15. So you need to uh, open your statistical table, right? Where is your statistical table? Google Classroom. Um, Ni group A kan, right? Right. So statistical table, table number F distribution, table number 9, muka surat 18. Right. It is table number 3, table number 9. Right. So we are looking into 0.05 for the first row. 0.05. The first degree of freedom is 2, the second one is 15. So 2 and 15 should be so kita tengok dekat sini, 15 are not available, but we have 14 and 16, right? So our second degree of freedom is 15. So what we can do is we take 3.74 plus 3.63, right? 3.63 divide by 2 lah. So this one should be 3.74 plus 3.63 divided by 2. Sorry. So this one should be 3.685. Right? Boleh faham, eh? So this one should be 3.685. So our region should be skewed to the right distribution because this is a F distribution. So this is 3.685. This is rejection region, and this is acceptance region. So our decision rule, if F calculated, senang nak ingat, lies inside rejection region, right? So null hypothesis is rejected. So senang nak ingat macam ni kan. So our decision here, since F calculated is 7.89, so dia 7.89, sepatutnya dekat sini lah, somewhere here kan. This is from 0 to infinity. So 7.89, right? 98 kan, 98, right? So since F calculated lies inside rejection region, null hypothesis is rejected. So our conclusion here should be at least one mean apa ni? Kita tengok boleh soalan lah. Mean, yeah. At least one mean age lah. One mean age are different. So sekejap. Okay. So mean age is different lah. Okay. So kita letak at least one mean age is different between department store lah, department group lah. Okay. So that one for question number 1. Okay. So question number 1, we have basically 11 marks, right? So now we move to question number 2. So question number 2, right? Okay. Dia kata kat sini, a study was conducted to determine the relationship between a driver age and number of accident he or she had over 3-year period. The data collected for 10 drivers are shown below. So dia bagi kat sini driver 10 data lah. So dekat sini dia bagi juga coefficient kan, right? Coefficient, dia kata driver age and number of accident, right? Okay. So by assuming the driver age and number of accident is normally distributed, the data were analysed and output is indicate below lah. So dekat sini dia bagi table age dalam ni. Dalam table ni ada age, right? Maksudnya dekat sini age adalah predictor ataupun independent variable lah. So this is what we call as independent variable. Independent variable also known as a predictor lah. Predictor variable, right? So now dia tanya dekat sini, identify predictor and response variable. So predictor is age, response is number of accident lah. Number of accident. Okay. Boleh Right. So next is compute the Z value of Z kan, and explain the value obtained lah. So now usually yang I ajar dulu untuk dalam bivariate kan, kita cari y equal to a plus bx, right? So a is a intercept and b is your slope, right? Basically this is the equation, right, yang I ajar hari tu, right? So this one should be y equal to 6.747 minus 0.216 x, right? So because formula yang I ajar mesti ada intercept, right? So that's why kita tengok dekat sini intercept constant still ada value lah, right? But another coefficient, right, dekat sini adalah standardized coefficient. Standardized coefficient does not have intercept. So to calculate the standardized coefficient, right, this is 5 marks, a very tough question juga. So to calculate the Z value dekat sini, Z value should be equal to Z should be equal to beta 1, which is the coefficient, right, for unstandardized coefficient, multiply with sx divided by sy. So sx should be equal to the sum of square for basically the variance of so this is a variance of x divided by sorry, this is not variance, this is a Yeah, this is a variance lah. Sorry, this is not a variance. This is a apa nama? Standard deviation of x divided by standard deviation of y lah. Okay. So standard deviation, macam mana kira standard deviation? Still remember for chapter number 1, right? Standard deviation, summation of x square minus summation of x, and then a square divided by n, everything divided by n minus 1. Right? So sama juga untuk SY, standard deviation for Y. So this one jangan lupa the square root. Oops. Right, ada square root dekat sini. So this one should be summation of Y squared minus summation of Y. Ini you square divided by n, everything divided by n minus 1. Can you start calculating the variance? Senang saja kan? The standard deviation senang saja kan? You just key in the data into the calculator, then you will get the value. Key in the data. So we have statistic. So we take 2. We know that this is x and this is y. So just key in je lah. 16. Right. So the variance, sorry, the standard deviation. Kali I sebut variance. Right. S4, number 4 is Sx. So it should be equal to 5.279. 5.279. Right. And then for this one, y, 1.549. Right. So we just plug in the value into the formula lah. So formula dia yang ini, right? Beta for standard unstandardized multiply with the ratio of two standard deviation. So this one should be kita kat bawah ni. So Z should be equal to negative 0.216 multiply with 5 point, I say I made 2 decimal point lah. 28 divided by 1.55. So this one should be berapa? 5.28 divided by 1.55 multiply with 0.216 should be negative. Oh, salah. Negative 0.7, 0.5, negative 0.7357, 0.7358 lah, right? So this is the value of beta, standardized coefficient lah. Okay. So baru 4 markah dekat sini. So what we need to do is we need to explain the value obtained. So how to explain benda yang sama lah. Cara kita explain in beta 1 dekat sini. Sama juga kita explain dekat sini. So dia kata kat sini for every 1 unit increase in X, right? The average, so in X is this one lah, the age lah. The average change in Y will, so since kita ada negative value dekat sini, right, the negative value, so it should be decrease lah, will decrease by 0.7358, right? Okay? Boleh? So next, state the value slope and its interpret the meaning. So value slope dekat sini adalah negative 0.216. So this is a slope, right? Remember the equation is, this is the equation, right? And this is slope. Interpret the meaning. So meaning dia sama saja for every 1 unit. Oh, kita tak boleh kata 1 unit lah. 1 year lah. 1 year in age increase, right? The number of accident, right, will decrease by 0.216, right? Maksudnya apa yang I faham dekat sini lah, rival age lah. Maksudnya rival age tu makin makin tua kan. So dia punya dia bawa kereta tu berhati-hatilah. So write down the linear regression equation. So we just write down lah y equal to 6.747 minus 0.216x. So then predict the number of accident driver who 30 years old. So y hat should be equal to 6.747 minus 0.216 multiplied with 30. Right? So this one should be berapa? This one should be, can you calculate? Berapa dapat? Can you calculate now? Berapa dapat? Zero point 0.267, right? Okay, good. So now we move to the next question. Question number 3, right? Question number 3. A manager at one of the popular telco company is currently conducting a survey regarding the service failure at their service counter lah. So the main objective of the survey is to find out the factor that caused the failure. So he randomly, so this is the objective to find out the factor that caused the failure. He randomly, so dia ada sebut randomly, select 5 service counter from 10 available counter all over Malaysia. So the questionnaire is distributed to all customer at the 5 selected counters. So among the information collected from the customer include age, gender, occupation, income, rating of service, and service quality. Right. So now what the question asks us, what is the population in this study? So the population in this study should be all customer who subscribe lah. Subscribe the telco company lah, the telco. Right, subscribe the telco service lah. Right, in Malaysia. So state the sampling technique used. So what is the sampling technique used in this study? So we have, in this statement, they are already clearly stated randomly selected, kan? So we're going to use a random sampling techniques. We have a simple random sampling, stratified, lagi kita ada systematic, and then we have cluster, and we have multi-stage. Right? So which one is correct to indicate the sampling technique used? Dia kata kat sini dia select 5 counters out of 10 counters. Right? And then they distribute to all customer at 5 selected service counter. It should be cluster lah, sebab dia distribute all lah. So this is a cluster. So identify one ordinal variable and one ratio variable obtained in this study. So dia ada age, gender, occupation, income, rating of service, service quality, poor. So ordinal should be service quality. And ratio should be age lah. Right? So the following are statistics produced from the study. Right? Identify whether each statement is descriptive or inferential. So 45% of the sample customer work in government sector. So this is a descriptive lah. You just describe, kan? So dekat sini, based on the sample, it can be conclude that there is an association between gender and service quality. So there are the association, relationship. So this is a inferential statistics. We are 95% confidence, right, that the average rating service for the customer falls between 60 and 90. So this is also inferential statistics. Right? Okay? So now we move to question number 4. Sekejap je kan? Tak susah pun. 2 jam saja. Right? So now question number 4. Depression score. The measure depression score. Higher score, more stress of the patient. 25 patients were recorded before and after their had undergone the therapy. The score were analyzed to see the effectiveness of the therapy. The output are indicate below lah. So dia kata dekat sini pad sample statistic depress 1 and depress 2. Maksudnya depress 1 ni maksudnya apa? Depress 1 representing depression score before the patient undergo the therapy lah. So depress 2 means after lah. After undergo the therapy. So assuming the score depression is normally distributed, right? Basically, we are measuring the score different kan? Different of the score normally distributed lah, bukan each score normally distributed. So find the value of x and y. So x is this one, y is this one. So x is a mean difference. So mean difference means x should be mean number 1 minus mean number 2. So be 42.56 minus 41.36. So this one should be berapa? Can you calculate? And please do calculate for y as well. Y is a standard area of the mean. Maksudnya mean difference, right? Mean difference divided by not the mean difference, right? Standard deviation. Standard deviation divided by square root of n, right? So Fn, n is equal to 25 divided by 25 lah. Can you calculate this one for as well? What is the value of x and what is the value of y? X equal to 1.2, right? Good. Y should be berapa? SD berapa SD? SD is 2.121 kan? Ni berapa? Y? Y is equal to 0.4242. Alright, good. Okay, so this is the value of x and y. And then B, state 95% confidence interval for the mean depression score. So this one should be dekat sini lah. This is a mean confidence interval of the mean depression score, right? This is mean difference lah kan. So this is a 0.324 until 2.076, right? Okay. So C, based on the confidence interval in B, can it be concluded that therapy is effective? So kalau kita tengok dekat sini, the P value, tapi dia kata based on confidence interval tau. So based on confidence interval, since the confidence interval does not include 0, since the confidence interval does not include zero. Dalam dia punya range ni, zero somewhere keluar lah kan. So it's not between the range. So we can say that we can say that the therapy is effective lah. Sebab apa efektif? Sebab dia ada perubahan, ada perbezaan lah. Kalau dia tak ada zero dalam ni kan, maksudnya dia ada perbezaan. Kalau kita tengok dekat the p value pun less than 0.05, so it should be supported each other lah. Right, so question number 5. A study has made to compare the average amount of sugar content for 2 brands of energy drinks, 10 energy drinks of brand P and 8 energy drinks for brand Q were sampled and the amount of sugar content was recorded for this study. The following are the expenses output for the analysis sugar content. So they bagi kat sini the mean, standard deviation and so on lah, energy drink P and Q. So this is the independent sample t-test. If you look at the p-value for Levin's test is not significant, more than 0.05 should be indicate that the variance are equal. And if you look at the p-value for t-test is more than 0.05, means that there is no difference between energy P and Q. So we just get some idea from them. So determine whether the variance amount of sugar 2 brands are equal. So based on Levin's test, right? Levin's test, right? Kita tengok Levin's test, the first one dulu, right? Kita tengok the first one, Levin's test. So null hypothesis, the variance are equal. Alternative hypothesis, the variance is not equal. Alpha 0.05, right? Sebab dia kata 0.05. Test statistic, right? We look at the test statistic. Levin's test F value dia bagi kat sini, but we look at the P value dekat sini. P value is equal to 0.160. Decision, since P value is more than 0.05, which is alpha, null hypothesis is accepted. So conclusion, since we accept null hypothesis, we can conclude that the variance are equal. Okay? So since we are looking the variance are equal, so kita akan ignore the second column lah. We are ignoring the second column. We are focusing on the first column only, right, for the next question. So assume the sugar content is normally distributed. If it is claimed that the energy drink P has less amount sugar than energy drink Q, conduct hypothesis testing to test this claim. Use alpha 0.05. So now dekat sini null hypothesis mu1 ataupun kita kata mu P, P has less amount of sugar kan. So mu Q, alternative hypothesis mu P is less than mu Q, right? Boleh faham ah? Ataupun kita boleh letak macam ni lah, mu P minus mu q equal to 0, right? Mu p minus mu q less than 0, right? Another one lah, another one. Kalau you tak suka this one, you boleh tulis macam ni lah, sama saja. Right, so alpha is 0.05, right? So we look at the test statistic, right? So you can use the p-value or the t-statistic, right? So it's easy to use t-statistic. So t is equal to berapa? T is equal to negative 0.131. So it should be negative 0.131. And then our critical region, right? So critical region, it should be on the left hand side, okay? So the rejection area on the left hand side. So this is the 0, this is the rejection area. So the rejection area should be here, rejection area, and this is acceptance area, right? So this is from negative infinity to infinity. So the t 0.05 with degree of freedom. What is the degree of freedom? 16, kan? Degree of freedom is 16. Nampak tak dia tulis? So 16. So kita tengok dalam test table statistik T distribution. So T distribution table number 7, 0.05, 16 should be 1.746. So 1.746. So since this is on the left hand side, should be negative 1.746 lah. So now our by looking at the t calculated, it should be negative 0.131 kan? So it should lies dekat sini, negative 0.131. So it lies under acceptance area. So decision, since t calculated lies under acceptance area, null hypothesis is accepted, right? So we can say that once you accept null hypothesis, conclusion, there are no different on mean apa? Mean sugar kan? Mean amount of sugar between P and Q lah, right? Okay, so that's how we answer the question number 4 and 4 marks. Okay, ada soalan tak?
So far so good, sir.
Yeah,
So far so good.
right. So now we move to question number 6. Right, question number 6. There is an increasing trend on purchasing a laptop due to pandemic COVID-19. Hence, a group of researchers intend to describe this scenario using a descriptive statistic. SPSS output illustrating the information on the number of purchasing laptop according to 15 states in Malaysia, Uh, so currently we have 15 state kah? I thought 14 only. Malaysian? Is there 14 state or 15 state? You pun tak tahu. Are you Malaysian? Google tengok 15 ke 14 Assume that the number of laptop purchased in month is normally distributed. So this is the descriptive statistics lah. So they give us the mode, variance, minimum, maximum, sum, the value, observation, the Q1, Q2 and Q3. So calculate the mean and standard deviation for this study. So very simple, mean is equal to summation, right? So mean is equal to summation 7,180 divided by 15, and standard deviation SD should be equal to square root of variance, right? So it should be square root of 20036.095. So you calculate the answer lah. Jawapan tu you calculate sendiri. So state the median value and interpret the value. So median value should be Q2, which is equal to median, equal to 492. So we can say that 50% of the total observation is less than 492, while another 50% of total observation is more than 492, right? So number C, construct a box and whisker plot. So you construct nicely. So the minimum value is 200 and maximum value should be 700 lebih kan. So you made your own scale. This is 200. This is 723. So this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value, right? So quarter number 1 should be 359, and then you ukur lah dia punya guna ruler. So 492 minus 395, so somewhere here lah, 359, right? 600 minus 492, right? So ni dia macam ni lah. Dia dekat sini sikit, 359, and this is going to be, this is 492, this is 600, is it? Wait, 359, yeah. So this is the first box, this is the second box, right? You tulis, you menggunakan you punya ruler betul-betul lah, right? Kalau tidak nanti tak elok. You kena calculate the distance betul-betul lah. So baru you nampak dia punya distance di sebelah kanan ni lebih besar daripada distance di sebelah kiri. So, distance di sebelah kiri lebih besar daripada kanan. So we can say that this is box and whisker. So based on the plot in C, describe the shape of distribution. This is skew to the right, skew to the left distribution. If researcher wish to describe a shape or distribution using appropriate measurement, which descriptive measure would you suggest to the researcher? So kalau kita nak tengok uh, distribution, we can use either histogram or stem and leaf, right? Dua-dua tu boleh tengok this shape or distribution as well lah. Right, the last question for the day. A dairy products factory want to know the milk flavor preferred by the buyer. The researcher randomly selected several supermarket visitors and conduct an experiment. Buyer were given 3 cups of milk with different flavor to drink. So after that, they were asked to choose one flavor that they preferred the most. The data collected shown in the following table. So this is the table. So this is a 2 by 2 table. We have gender, male and female, flavor, plain, kurma and banana. So A, find the value of M using expected formula. So we want to find the expected value. Expected value, row total, multiply with column total, divide by grand total. So this one should be 22 multiply with 20 divide by 63. So this is the value of M. Very simple, kan? So the first one is simple. The second one kind of a bit hard to calculate, but the value is there already. So for B, chi-squared should be equal to summation of observed minus expected square divided by expected lah, right? So this one should be, we need to calculate one by one lah. So observe 9, you calculate for the first this one first cell. 9 minus 9.1 square divided by 9.1 plus 6 minus, what is the value of M tadi? 6 point. Value of M tadi berapa? Supposed to be somewhere 6. Some 6 berapa kan? 6.984. So minus 6.984 square divided by 6.984 plus sama jugalah. Buat sampai habis. Tolong kira berapa you dapat? 0.1. Okay, right? So now at 10% significant level, what can you conclude about relationship between two variable, right? So dekat sini dia kata 10%, maksudnya so you need to calculate you need to construct a hypothesis testing lah. So null hypothesis, we can say that null hypothesis, there is no relationship between gender and flavor, right? Alternative hypothesis, there is a relationship between gender and flavor. So alpha is equal to 0.10, right? 0.10. So test statistic, the chi-squared is equal to 0.531. Right, you calculate here. I'm not sure whether the answer is correct, but okay, 0.531. So critical region, right? Critical region. But before we calculate the critical region, we need to know the critical value, chi-squared alpha with degree of freedom. So chi-squared 0.10. Degree of freedom is, macam mana nak kira degree of freedom? Number of row minus 1 multiply with number of column minus 1. So number of row ada 2, minus 1 is equal to 1. Right? Multiply with number of column ada 3, minus 1 is equal to 2. So it should be 2 lah. Right? So we look at the statistical table, cari chi-squared distribution. This is a chi-squared distribution. Right? So cari 1.0 and 0.1 lah. 0.1 and 2 degree of freedom dekat sini. Right? It should be 4. Nampak? 4.605. 4.605. Right? So now we draw a region here. Right? This is a chi-squared distribution. Oops, tak berapa cantik ya. Chi-squared distribution. So let's say this is a rejection area, and this is 4.605 is the critical value. This is a rejection area. This is acceptance area, right? So our decision is, if decision rule, if the chi-square calculated lies under rejection area, then we reject null hypothesis. So since chi-squared calculated lies under acceptance area, this is from 0 to infinity. So 0.53 somewhere here lah, 0.531 area. Null hypothesis is accepted. Right? So since null hypothesis is accepted, conclusion is there is no significant relationship between gender and flavor lah. Preferred flavor. Right? So, I think that's all. If the variable are measured in ratio, can chi-square type of dependent be used? Yeah, ratio is a numeric, right? So categorical variable, we only have ordinal or interval, and nominal or nominal or ordinal only kan. So supposedly kalau categorical variable or nominal or nominal or ordinal only. If ratio or interval cannot be used lah, right? Cannot. Habis satu markah, right? Okay. Ada soalan? Habiskan soalan ni. Okay. So we have complete 1 hour and 20 minutes. Right, untuk habiskan soalan ni. Sepatutnya dalam final exam you boleh jawab lah less than 2 hours. Okay? Ada soalan before we end our session? Next class we will look into soalan lain pula lah. Kita tengok December 2019 ataupun kita try cari yang lain. Right? Okay? So get ready for test number your test maybe I think next week lah. Kita this week kita settle revision dulu lah. Kita try to do some exercise, tengok boleh jawab ke tak. And next week kita tengok test number 2. Okay? I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.